Hello everyone, what's up? Prince1215 here with another video review. Today I'm reviewing LEGO Star Wars set number 75214, Anakin's Jedi Starfighter. From Star Wars The Clone Wars, let the hype flow through you, for it is coming back. Yes! Or, this could also just be here because of the 10-year anniversary this year, but let's go with the fact that this is celebrating that the show is coming back. Let's go with that one. So, before we take a look at the set, let's take a look at the box. So, here it says LEGO Star Wars. People you may or may not like, depending on what you think of the new movies. Here's Anakin's Jedi Starfighter in the middle of a battle. Here are the minifigures. It comes with R2-D2 and Anakin Skywalker. Warning, don't eat the pieces. That's not good. It's from Disney. It's, of course, ages 7 to 12. Of course, that's just a suggestion. Have to put that on there. 75214, Anakin's Jedi Starfighter, 247 pieces, and it's a building toy in several different languages. On the back, here is Anakin's Starfighter, parked in a... Actually, it's not parked in a hangar. It looks like it's parked on Coruscant, given by the background. Parked, Disney. And it shows off all the things it can do, which actually isn't much, but it's too cool looking. So, that's pretty much it for the box. So, here we have Anakin's Mark II Delta 7 Jedi Starfighter, as he used during the early days of the Clone Wars. So, last time we got this set, it was the summer wave, the fall wave of 2007. And it came out to, as kind of a teaser for the Clone Wars show being a thing, because the image is showing on screen, but at the corner of the box, it had that logo. It had that Star Wars The Clone Wars logo. And at that time, I think when I saw the pictures of that set, I had not yet heard that the Clone Wars was going to be a thing. So I was very confused about what this set was and what it was advertising, although I did think it was cool, but not cool enough to pick up. So then, of course, in the next year, the movie came out, and then the show, and well, here we are 10 years later, reveling in the fact that it is coming back for a final 7th season of 12 episodes. So if this is the first time you're hearing this, then you're welcome for that information. But I doubt this is the first time you're hearing that information, because it was kind of everywhere. So before we take a look at the set, I know I've already said that because of the box, let's take a quick look at the minifigures. So here we have Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker in his Season 1 Clone Wars design, which looks very... well, his Season 1 to Season 3 Clone Wars design, which looks very, very nice. So he does come with a double-sided face. Here he is, looking a little more grumpy, which, given that it's Anakin Skywalker, he looks grumpy pretty often. I kind of sort of wish that he didn't have the comlink earpiece. And it was just his regular face, but oh well, that is a small gripe. So he looks pretty good. There's a lot of nice printing on here, and he does have leg printing, not that it shows up very well on camera. And so now let's bring in, for comparison, I'll put them down here, his original minifigure from 2008. So, here we go. Here's the 2008 Anakin Skywalker minifigure, and then here's the new one based on that 1st to 3rd season appearance. Try to get it in the light a little bit more so you can see that the printing on his legs just does not want to come through on this camera, which is annoying. But so as you can see, they're obviously the same design, but just modified a bit because, of course, this Anakin has the Clone Wars minifigure face that actually has the normal-looking eyes, which isn't normal for LEGO. So I don't personally mind those designs for the Clone Wars figures, but I know some people find them horrifying. So yeah, so even not necessarily with the face, that's kind of a thing that you're gonna have an opinion about one way or the other. But there's no arguing that the torso and the leg printing, that is an improvement overall which is very, very cool. So here is a then and now of Anakin. And then here we have a then and now of R2-D2. Now granted, this newer design for R2's been around for a while. We haven't had an R2-D2 to look like this in a long time, probably since about 2007, because I feel like it was the Clone Wars that came out with a new dome design for R2 that didn't have the white all the way down, and it was more filled in like this, except it was more of a Clone Wars design. This was introduced a little bit later, but we've had this design for a while is what I'm getting at. But this is the first time I've picked up an R2 since whatever set this one came in, which I can't remember at the moment. It'll come back to me later. But, so, yeah. So here's Anakin then and now, and R2 then and now. So it's really cool to see... Oh, dear. And I'm knocking them all over. So it's really cool to see the difference that 10 years or so makes. So, as you can see with R2, his the body is much more detailed than it was here, and of course the better looking dome design. So I think that's pretty cool to have these two fresh designs. Well, and again, like I said, this has been around for a while, but it's fresh to me. These two fresh designs in this remake of this set. So now that we've taken a look at the minifigures, let's take a look at the set itself. So, of course, you can take your minifigures, put Anakin in the cockpit, put R2 in the little droid slot, and we're ready for takeoff. So, you can pick it up and fold in the landing gear like so, and now we have it in flight mode. So, overall, the design of this is very, very nice. It looks like the Mark II Delta 7 that we see in the show. And I was like, when I got this built for the first time, I just kind of ended up flying it around like this, you know, cutting back to scenes from the Clone Wars in my heads. In my heads, yes, I have multiple heads. No, cutting back to scenes from the Clone Wars in my head where these ships would fly around, not necessarily even Anakin's, but others like, you know, Plo Koon and Sassy Tin. I think I'm saying his first name right. I don't know. That's one of those weird Star Wars names. It's like, how do you pronounce that? And you know, and of course, Ahsoka had her own, which was a set at one point, but it's not now. It was years ago at this point. So the design of this is very, very nice. If I have one complaint, and I have to complain about this every time it pops up, is that there are stickers. Stickers are the bane of my existence. But I think I managed to apply them pretty well on this set. So there's stickers here. Of course, this is a sticker. Why this symbol continues to be a sticker and not just a printed piece always eludes me. Now right here, so this is a sticker. This I understand why this is a sticker. But why is that not just a printed piece? Why does that have to be a sticker? Anyway. And of course, there's stickers here. But these stickers weren't too troublesome to place. They're all good size. I was able to get them on pretty easily, and they really enhance the look of the vehicle. So, yeah, gosh. I was never a huge fan of this design. I mean, I liked it, sure. I think it's iconic for the era of Clone Wars. But, you know, when the original set came out and then, you know, the show went on for a while, and I just never felt like I needed to pick one up. I never found a reason to. I always thought it was just, it was a good design, but I always liked the Eta 2 interceptors from Revenge of the Sith and later on in the Clone Wars more. But when I saw this at the store, you know, a couple days before it was actually supposed to be there, something in me snapped, and I had to pick it up. And gosh, am I glad I did, because this it's just so good looking. There's no other. This dagger shape, you know, it's like it just looks good from all angles. I mean, maybe not in the top so much because there are some little gaps here. But I mean, honestly, that's just a small thing because it just looks brilliant. Now, there are a couple things different here with this version of the Starfighter than previous versions. For one, because a friend of mine, Jake, he had the original. And if I were, and so you know, I spent some time getting to look over it, so I know some of the ways it works. If I'm remembering about the original correctly, is that these you could position pretty much how you liked. They were on a hinge, so if you didn't want them to necessarily be down like this, even though this is the correct, you know, this is the correct way they're supposed to go, you could hinge them up to where they're a little more flat with the rest of the Starfighter. This, you cannot do that because of the way it's constructed. As you can see here, we have these Technic pieces that are here, and of course, you know, not movable. You can't move that in any direction freely. You'd have to disassemble the entire thing and change it if you wanted to make that a little more flat with the rest of the fighter. So here are the engines. You know, nice green. I feel like I remember the engines actually being blue, but oh well. I mean, that's a small detail. It doesn't really matter. But there is one detail on here that I really, really, really like, and it's that they actually put a place for you to keep his lightsaber. That's awesome. I don't know how often, or you know, I don't know, not exactly how often, but I don't know if. Because we have received several versions of the Delta 7 Starfighter over the years. There's of course the original. There's of course this original version that was released in 2007. There's an Obi-Wan Episode 2 version that was like Ultimate Collector Series 1. There's one for Mace Windu. There's one for Ahsoka. There's a Plo Koon version. And then there's a Master Tin version. That was released with the same wave as the Malevolence. So I mean, there's several different versions of these, and I've never picked up one until now, so I don't know. So I don't know if they've all had this, but the fact that they include a place to keep the lightsaber is awesome, because I have the original Anakin's Jedi Starfighter from Episode 3 from 2005, and there was not actually a place to actually keep the lightsaber. You would have to take the blade off of the hilt and just open up. This is what I ended up doing anyway. I don't know about anyone else, but what I ended up doing is I would take the blade off of the hilt and just open up the cockpit and stick it in there with him, which wasn't exactly the best place. So yeah, so the fact that this actually has a place to keep Anakin's lightsaber is awesome. I love that. It's a small little thing, but I very much appreciate that. That's great for play. So, speaking of play, it does come with these two stud launchers. So, like any stud launcher, you just pull the little thing there, and then they bounce off the box and into the floor. And then when Anakin's done shooting at his targets, he can then pop down the landing gear and land again. And then, of course, you do get extras of those studs to rearm in case you lose them, which, considering these are studs, that's very, very possible. I really like the inclusion of the stud launchers on here, because I think some of the weapons that have been on here in past versions of this vehicle haven't been great, because I'm not a fan of flick fire missiles at all. So, and I feel like I remember the previous versions of this having flick fire missiles. So yeah, so this is a great set. I love this set. I would highly recommend this set. This is a great set for, you know, old fans of the Clone Wars like me. And gosh, I can't believe I'm saying old fan of the Clone Wars. It's like, I was in 5th grade when the movie came out and the show started, so it's like, I guess that makes me an old fan. But and this is also great for new fans that might be getting into the show on Netflix long after it ended, or I suppose during its hiatus, since we know it's coming back and it's going to be finished. So it'll be great for them, because I'm sure there are 10-year-olds out there that may have been too young to watch the show when it was on originally, that can now watch it on Netflix. You know. And this will be great for them. overall, and of course, it's also great for collectors to complete a Clone Wars collection. So, you know, overall, it's a really, really solid set that I would highly recommend. And the best part, it's only $20. That's not much. So, I mean, Lego Star Wars sets have the tendency to maybe be a little more expensive than they should be just because it's Lego Star Wars. But this is a $20 set. That's awesome. It's a nice, affordable price. You get a great vehicle, 2 good minifigures, and I love this set so much. It's so good. Lego Star Wars has been killing it with their $20 sets, from Vader's transformation chamber to the Republic assault tank to this. It's like, oh gosh, I cannot give this set enough praise. It's just really, really good. And it's like, maybe it's a bit of nostalgia talking, but hey, nostalgia is good for a lot of things sometimes. So, yeah. So I would highly recommend this set. It's a great set. It's got some nice play features, and it's just really built for play, for picking it up and making little spaceship noises with your mouth and swooping it around in the air left and right, and pretending like you're blasting vulture droids and saving the Republic from doom that will end up encroaching up on it anyway, because the prequels are a tragedy. You know, story speaking, not in... The prequels are good movies, sue me. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are in the description below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Time to leave. Plot a course out of here and prep the hyperdrive engines. What are you doing? I said prep them, not drop them. Where's R2 when I need him?
Launch everything we have!
Sir, it's only one fighter. He can't escape.
Everything!
I know, missiles. I hate missiles. We're going on the offensive, R3. Get ready to cut the engines. Will you just do what I tell you? Hit the stabilizers, R3.
Hey, that was clever.
Silence!